Hello YouTube, my name is Willie Lacalle and welcome to my video channel. Today, well, we're going to have some fun with my new trolling motor. It is a Fortrex, Minn Kota Fortrex 101 US2. I recently purchased it, just showed it off a few days ago on my Pontoon video of the updates of what we've done so far. In there I explained that I picked this thing up for a couple $100. It's got a short shaft. I ordered a 62-inch shaft for it, and the shaft, well, it arrived today. So not sure how to go about this, but what we're going to do today is break it down, take out the old shaft, and try to put in the new shaft. You know, if I get to the point where I've pulled off the new shaft today, or the old shaft, then man, I'm pretty happy getting to that point. But you know, if we can finish it all up today, that's even better. So kind of take you for a little tour around my little milk room. Here's where I milk my cows. I don't have any right now. They're in milk. Well, I do, but they're feeding babies, so I don't much interrupt them when they're doing that. Let them take care of their business. It's awfully windy outside. It's been raining for the last few days, so you know, this is where we're going to try to do our business. I'm going to kind of break this up into a few little videos and put it all together into one big video. Along the way, trying to see that you know, there's no problems with the video, because I've had some issues in the past, and I don't want you guys to miss a moment of this fun stuff. So I'm really excited. I mean, super excited about my trolling motor. As I explained in the previous video with the updates, that man, I really have my heart set on the Ultrex with iPilot and spot lock and all that. And $3,000, y'all, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that you know, even though I've saved quite a bit doing the upholstery myself and you know, everything else, I just, cheap Mr. Willie has a hard time giving up that kind of money on something that, you know, I'm going to use just every now and then, or you know, every chance I get to go fishing, whatever that comes out to be, which right now is just every now and then. So you know, the next best thing is this Fortrex 101 old school with a foot control. That kind of keeps me away from hand control. I can manage it while I'm fishing and still run the foot. The foot control is actually kind of new to me. I haven't used one before, and you know, it's going to be a learning process, and one that I'm really looking forward to. So that's my way of getting a correct size with enough power for this 24-foot pontoon to be able to handle. You know, my next choice was a Terova 80 thrust pound trolling motor. You know, still that was going to be $800-900. So I feel real good about my purchase here. $200. Like I said, it's got a short shaft. My new shaft arrived today in the mail. You can kind of see the difference there, and really that difference right there is all I need. What do you need for a pontoon boat? Well, you know, the consensus and everything I've read says it's somewhere around 60 inches. What I know at this point is from the deck of my boat to the water line is 22 inches. And then, you know, you want another 22 to 18 inches below the deck, or below the water line for your motor. So this one right here, when I put it underwater or put it on the deck and put it down, the water level is right around here. So, and not that I've had it in the water, I'm sorry, let me try that again. The water level is, you know, right around, being that this is in the water, you know, maybe an inch or two below the water line, the water level of the lake. meaning that, you know, when I get waves, I'm going to be doing this. It's going to be coming in and out. Where if I get it down here, you know, it's going to be a 2 to 3 foot wave before this thing comes out, and you know, I probably have no business out there in 2 or 3 foot waves with the trolling motor in the water. Not that the 2 or 3 foot waves bother me in the pontoon up at Texoma. That's a regular day, especially when it's busy and there's lots of big boats on the water. So, all right, let me quit babbling. I'm going to take this little clip right here and stop it at this point. Take it inside, make sure everything's good, and then we'll get down to business. What we're going to do, we're going to take the cover off. We're going to disconnect the electrical wires that go to the motor. We're going to, this is a clamp right here that holds that keeps the shaft from coming up. That's as high upward as it can go. This one right here is what adjusts how far down it goes. And for those of you wondering, yes, I have this shaft in here upside down. It should be down here, but it was too long for the boat at the moment, so I turned it around. That doesn't matter right now. So once we do that, we'll be able to pull the shaft out and get rid of the trolling motor section here below it, and just have the lower motor assembly with the shaft sitting on our little makeshift workbench. And you know, we'll see what it takes to lengthen the wires, replace the shaft, and get it all back together. So that's our plans. Hang with me. We're gonna have fun. And you know, if you want a big old bad trolling motor like this for your pontoon boat, and you don't want to spend the big money, kind of like I don't, well, you know, you get you something like this. You get you one that is the power that you're looking for, and you order the correct size shaft that you need, right? You get one with the shorter shaft. If you can find it like I did at the right price, you buy the correct shaft that you need, and you do the work yourself, like I'm fixing to show you how to do, or we're getting ready to learn together how to do, because this is my first rodeo with one of these. As far as this kind of job, I have broken into the others before. You saw my little 30 on my sports craft. However, that's your ticket in to getting a big powered trolling motor for your boat at the right price with a little bit of work. And again, $49 is what I paid for this brand new 62-inch shaft. So, you know, what's that come out to? $200 for the trolling motor, $49 for the shaft. You know, batteries, that's a different thing. I mentioned them on my last video. Batteries are going to cost me about $100. This is a 36 volt unit. So, you know, I'm looking at $300 plus for batteries. So that's where I'm at with this project, and man, let's get after it. I'll be with you in just a little bit. Alrighty, so I watched the first part of this video, and man, I sure can babble a lot. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm just excited. So I guess what we need to do here is, first of all, is loosen up this collar down here that is going to allow us to move this up some, so I can put a screwdriver in here and take the screws out from the bottom side of this cover and take this cover off and get to the wiring. So that's what we're doing right now. I showed you the collar earlier and what it looked like, and so now we're going to see about taking it off. Huh? You see that kitty back there? It comes sneaking out, didn't it? Yes, sir. Alright. So, loosen up this collar, and that's going to allow us to move the motor up, righty tighty, lefty loosey, even when it's upside down. Alright, almost got it loose here. Alright, there we have it. Remember to put that on the new one. This is a strap to kind of keep it all together from bouncing around. We'll get it out of our way there. And our tools out of the way here. See if we can do this. There we go. Move it on up a little bit. Probably need to open it up and get us through. We can get under here. These things are big and heavy and kind of hard to move around when you're running solo and not bolted down. See if we can. Well, get down on the ground where we can get crazy with it. Hey. If I quit wasting your time, and we'll get back to you in just a minute. Alright, so I'm not sure what in the world had me caught up there, but it took me a while to get it loose. We'll figure that out here shortly. And now we're going to take the cover off, the little Phillips screws. I guess I've done this part here before on that little 30 Minn Kota edge. Had the switch out on it. This one here looks like it's missing both of the bottom screws. We'll have to figure that out. Can't be too difficult. So here's a gear that's out of place. Assuming that goes here. I don't know where it goes. Maybe we're going to figure out what some of the issues were with this thing. Now that we have it, because we didn't try it. Looks like maybe it goes here. I don't know. But this is when you start figuring what's wrong with your stuff, when you kind of start breaking into it. So alright, here's the 3 wires that go through it. Well, actually 4. We have this brown wire, goes down in there. More stuff messed up in there. Alright. We got this red wire. We got the transducer cable. red wire and black wire. Okay, so red wire, of course, are positive. Black wires are negative. This other little brown wire, I'm assuming is powered to the transducer, and then our transducer cable. I'm not sure about the brown wire. I'm just kind of off the cuff there making that up. So let's start. Back here a little bit. Man, this really concerns me now. That's how these things work, though. I always find a little something wrong with it. But nothing we can't fix, because we're good like that. Just kind of eyeballing this thing. What this gear appears to be is the indicator gear. It tells us which direction we're pointing in. Maybe that's just a matter of snapping it back into its place, which is right there. And it kind of meets up with that gear. And I think I was the one that caused that issue there when I started pushing it up through there. So let's try to get this head off of here, and then we'll kind of go from there. I'll tell you, the old boy that sold this to me, his name is David. Very nice guy. Very respectful, and he was right up honest with me, and told me to take it home, try it, and I'm unhappy with it. And that, my concern was it wasn't going to fit the boat. He said, if it doesn't fit, just bring it back, man. I'll give you back your money. And man, what can you say to somebody that tells you something like that? Right on, dude. I trust you. And if not, I can fix whatever's wrong with it. But I'm pretty sure that whatever you saw right there, that I caused that. So sometimes we gotta own up to our mistakes there. So this head is held onto the shaft with I think 3 or 4 screws. Right now, that's what we're doing, is kind of taking them off. So we can get our shaft on out of there. See if I can give you guys a little better shot of this. What I'm doing over here. So 1, 2, 3. And then maybe 4 down here. Maybe it's just 3. So we'll try to get this last one out of here. Feels like it's totally unscrewed, and we're just going to pull it out. There, it came out. Oh, a little ball bearing came out. A little ball bearing came out. Imagine that. What does that kind of tell you? Yeah, all sorts of things in here. Not quite as simple as it looked. So, I think this is a good time to take a picture of it. Let's get down here and see what everything looks like in here. Probably a few little things we're going to have to end up changing. Right on. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop this right here. Next thing I'm going to do is cut off this insulation on all three of these wires. Insulation meaning the heat shrink, so I can open up the wires and start pulling things out. Alright? Alright, YouTube, let's try to record a little more. So what I've done was take the bolts off the screws off of here, come down here, and found that this plastic piece here is broken. So only 3 of the bolts are holding in place. Like I said earlier, we're gonna cut the insulation or the heat shrink tubing off of the electrical connections so that we can pull this whole top off of there. I mean, we got issues here, so it's going to have to be fixed. I think earlier when I loosened up this collar and I tried to push the shaft up, I jacked up a whole bunch of stuff up here. I'm seeing these BBs, so that's telling me that there is a bearing that has come apart. Was it bad? Who knows? But I'm sure what I did didn't help it. So I'll take the blame on that one. Right now I'm trying to collect these BBs because for all I know it's a put together kind of bearing, and maybe it'll work once we put all the stuff back together on it. Otherwise, we're going to order new parts, whatever it is that it needs. Here's what I used to tell people in the semiconductor industry that I trained. This big old badass $1 million machine right here, there ain't nothing on it that you can tear up that I can't fix. So that's the same thing here. Not a whole lot that I can't tear up that I can't fix. So right now I'm still collecting BBs. It's kind of like operating on a person when they've been shot with a shotgun, and you're pulling out BBs because it's all inside of them. So I didn't test this thing out when I got it right. It was delivered to me. I'm sure that it was perfect when I got it. I'm very, very almost positive that by pushing this shaft up like I did and out, that's what kind of jacked it up. So alright, we got as many BBs as we can see out of there. Here's a little piece of broken plastic. That may be part of the piece that I pushed on it. There's another BB down here that fell. Just trying to collect all BBs right now. All the BBs. I'm telling what's going to happen with these. I may be able to get it all going. Hey, my ducks are calling. It says potential scam on there. What do you think? Should we answer that? Nah. Alright, so back to what I said we were going to do. We're going to cut some of this heat shrink tubing off here. Man, when you're doing what I'm doing right here, be careful. These razor blades will tear you up. I'm sure there's a safer way to do this, but you know, this kind of works for me. Just kind of peel this back, get it to where you can unplug it and unplug it. Yep. This is the part that takes time. So, you know, like I said in the beginning of the video, if I get to the point today where the shaft is off, I'm going to be pretty happy. You know, sometimes we get pretty aggressive on our plans and think we can get it all done in one day. Well, you know, here's a perfect example of things that happen and things that show their face in the middle of a project, and you know, you just don't get as far as you planned on it that day for multiple reasons. So these right here are the cables that run the foot and turn the motor. It runs off of this little piece right here. So I marked it as to which one went in the back, which one goes in the front, and I took a picture of how they came out, and well, that'll get us when we get to that point. Okay, so far one cable's off. I don't know that taking off the rest of this installation really matters, but see if maybe we can, because it's just in the way. There. Alright, get that one out of the way. What's left? The transducer cable we've taken off, so that's 2 of 4. So all that's left now is the power and the ground. And we're going to do those next. So here we go. Let's have some fun with this. Okay. Come down here. So we can separate that a little bit. Go. Get that out of the way. Keep on going. See if we can get rid of this whole piece of heat shrink tubing. There you go. So we got our negative out of the way. And I have to say, these connections look nice and clean. There's no corrosion. They look brand new, like they were just made. So that's the criticality of getting these heat shrink tubing put back on. You know, when we get to the point that we're done, it's real easy to go, We don't need that nonsense on there, but you do. You do. That's high voltage, high current. Not high voltage, 36 volts, but high current at full speed. If I'm not mistaken, this thing draws 50 something amps. You know, that's a lot. That's a lot, y'all. That is a lot. Okay, so we got 3 of the 4 cables undone. Now we're going for number 4. So positive. Alright. So it's always fun when you buy a new little toy and you immediately start breaking into it. You know, for some people that gets nerve-wracking, especially if it's expensive. And you know, there's signs that you look for along the way to tell you, you know, things that have happened. Well, you see this right here? That's a burn mark, and what that tells me is, you know, some work has been done in here before, and that was probably done with the soldering iron by mistake. So, you know, these are the things you start learning about your toys when you get into them. So, you know, somebody at some point has been in this. Does that matter to me? Nah, not at all. But, you know, those are the clues. So, let's see if we can just cut this doggone insulation off of here. Burning daylight. Pretty soon it'll be dark. And I really want to get to the point that I'm taking this shaft over there, pulling the wires through and getting ready for a plan of what's next. Okay, so almost got this. There we go. We should be able to pull and valve disconnect. Alright, go ahead and disconnect this one. Put this little big old bad burnt self. Now how that usually goes. So that goes to this light. And if the light comes out, then maybe we'll just pull the whole thing out. Otherwise, we put some pliers on there and try to take it apart. Alright, we almost got this completed now. Let's not do anything crazy. Oops. So that goes, folks. Things don't always work out how planned. Well, that's on there good and tight. Good and tight. Maybe we can pry it out with a screwdriver. Or at least break pieces that are burnt. Like that. And maybe in here. And maybe that was the reasoning behind this burnt part is to keep this thing together from coming apart, which I doubt, but we'll give them that much credit. I don't see that. Alright. Put that bad boy pretty good. There we go. Alright. Boom chakalaka. Oh, look at here. One more. So, fuse for the light, I think. Okay. This is the last wire, and then we will be disconnected completely from the foot switch. Almost there, y'all. Almost. There we go. So pull that apart. Okay. So let's try to remember where everything goes here. This one goes here. This one goes over here. This one goes to the brown. So how do we remember that? Well, because they put a fuse in between it. See that? This goes here, and at some point someone broke into it and put this fuse in line. Like that. So let's see. I'm going to mark that bad boy. Actually, I'm going to take a picture of it. Alright, because we may not remember. Something may be wrong with our video. And that's simple enough. Alright. Now, we're totally disconnected from the foot switch, foot pedal, which is kind of good because there's some things I want to do here. This plastic isn't on there right. Actually, when I'm done tonight, since this is an old barn and the cat has its way out here and the chickens come in here, I'm going to put all this stuff up in the milk house where it's going to be safe. So in the meantime, we'll get this out of our way and head on with our project here. Right on. So, okay. What this tells us now is that some of this stuff comes right on off. Okay. That goes there. Just like that. That goes on here. Then we have let's take a picture of that too, so that we don't forget. Just like this. Just so we know how everything goes. Okay? Alright. Pictures don't lie, y'all. Mine does. This is like a little shim. This is the sprocket that drives. Oh man, that's tight. That's real tight, so it's not probably going to let us do all these at the same time. So let's just get a couple out at a time. Like this one, there we go. And then this one, and then this one. So this is to the top. You know, does it matter? Shoot, I don't know, but let's make sure we put it that way. Top. Put it on there a couple places in case it falls off. Top. Top. Top, 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 top. Okay? Alright. So, here's the piece of the bearing right there that fell apart. Right? That held the that's what caused the problems. So see, we still have one screw left in here. It needs to come out. And we can get that whole top off. There's another piece of broken piece. Fell out. I'm not sure what that goes to. We'll have to figure that one out. And you know, that's nothing to worry about because they sell these covers. And there's another bearing. A little ball from the bearing. Right, they sell these covers and they sell all the parts for these things. So if it messes up, if it's broke, we want it all right. That's the price we pay. There we go. There we go. Alright. One more thing, just to know how this goes on. Let's go ahead and mark that. Let's take a picture of that too. Reference to something else. There we go. Alright, so if we did everything right, this should just come right on off. Or not, who knows. See how we get this out. Yep. This bearing. Maybe we'll take a look at our shaft. See what our shaft tells us. That's one side is threaded. Here's the other side. And this side has the holes in it. So all this should just come right on out. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That shows 4. See, there's a 4th. I don't see a 4th. There we go. There we go. Just have to pull. Okay. So, let's take a look at here. What broke? A little piece right there. I think our shaft came off of here. Alright. That first, I'm sorry, not shaft, the gear came off of here. There's a bearing that rides in here, and all the little ball bearings came off, and I guess when we pulled this thing off, the casing of that bearing must have fallen. That's what I'm looking for right now. Well, it must have fallen good because I can't find it. So let's see if we can pull our shaft out now. And I'm seeing it down here in the bottom, there's the same thing, like another piece of shaft. I don't know if this is pressed in there or... Let's see. It must be pressed in there and... bearing. That part goes there, and this part goes inside there. Our bearing's right in here, and that bearing shaft is right there. See if we can pull on this thing and it comes out. Coming. Here we go. There's the screws. I'm going to push it on up a little more. Oh, look at that. Learn something new every day. So, seems that these bolts, these screws on the outside just hold the cover. Then inside there's some bolts, some screws that hold the shaft. So that's them right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then maybe when we pull that out, all this will come out. We're getting somewhere now. Take a picture of that. Let me get you up close too so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright. So, let's see. There's the holes on this collar that correspond with the holes on the shaft. And here's the holes on this collar that correspond with the holes on the cover. Right? The cover bottom side right there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And there's actually 4, but I only pulled out 3. Alright, almost there. Let's see what else we can get into. Hey, one more BB. Finding these BBs everywhere. Okay, and we're saving them. Saving them because they're not usable. And we dropped our shaft down here, so let's pick that up. Alright, threaded part goes down into the motor, and this part right here with the holes, that's what this collar screws into. Alright, so since we got an idea of what we're doing there, let's go ahead and put this thing up so it don't get tore up. I got a top part for this. There. Now we get that out of our way. I don't think we're making progress here. Alright. Ooh, that's tight. As it should be, I guess. Okay, so that's one. That's two. So part of my problem right now is that I've got it in this casing and it's sitting on this foot and I can't pull it up higher. So let's see if we can move it down. Oh, and now I got it clamped back in. Like I said earlier, I got no idea how I got it unclamped earlier. And that's what I need to do, is move it back out again. Let's see if we can. Well, either way, that right there gave us a little bit of space we needed to get this one out with. There. Okay. Put that up. And we got one right here. Okay, and I think it's 4. Here's number 4. All right, number 4. Now let's see what happens. See if this comes out. See if this whole thing pulls out. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. Alright, so this is coming up out of the shaft. Oh man, those wires are tight in there, y'all. I'm hoping that there's our little bearing race, all jacked up, you can see. So, you know, was that like that? Did I do that? I don't know. I don't know. Sure I did, jacking with it. But there we go. Let's see if we can get some wires to there. Get this out. Okay, so what I know is this ain't gonna come out with all this nonsense in here. With all these connectors on there, and well, there's just no way. And we're gonna maybe get one at a time through there. I don't believe that it's gonna come out. So, let's see. Maybe that'll all come out with the shaft. Now that, oh, let's see. This won't. This holds it in place. So the wires have to come out. All this has to come off. And see how we're going to do that. So probably the easiest way to start is with this little wire. Makes you wonder why somebody would tear apart a perfectly good working trolling motor. Well, it's going to be perfectly good working trolling motor again. It's a matter of time. I don't know that this is going to come out, but let's see. And if it does, I don't know if there's going to be room for these others. Let's see here. Sometimes, y'all. Alright. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So, next thing we do is we cut it, right? So, I mean, we're gonna have to cut it anyway, because we're gonna have to extend all these cables. Not this one. Hopefully this one, ooh, I don't know what we're going to do with that. That may be a problem. Yeah, that one there might be a problem. So, alright, let's cut these connectors off. And move along, little doggy. We're almost there. Let's see, I got some wire cutters over here somewhere. Okay. Red one, and the black one, and the brown one. And we're going to save these. We might use them, who knows. Alrighty, well, in this little section I want to show you that we finally got our shaft with the motor out, and along the way I've discovered a few other problems with this unit, and have come to the conclusion that yeah, it definitely had problems, and I probably was not the one that jacked up the bearing and all that. However, I'm good with that. At the price that I paid for this, no problems. So the next step with our unit is removing the shaft, right? I'm gonna end up having to put some heat on this motor section here, try to unglue the RTV type glue that's in here. I'm sorry, not RTV, Loctite glue type glue that's in here. You can see some of it kind of discoloration there. That's kind of it. Somewhere on another video, I think I heard the number of 455 degrees. I don't know how the validity to that, but I think what I'm hearing is, 2 to 3 minutes of heating on this, and the shaft comes off. So I'm going to move on this little short clip to kind of show you the other things that I found. So I realized that there had to be other problems with it, since I couldn't open this thing up easily. So what I've discovered is that this pivot bushing and mount is jacked up. So you can see, it's kind of I'm sorry, let me show you there. This part right here is kind of bent up on both sides. Take a look at it on this side. But the biggest concern is the side play. So you can see how much side play there is in there. There shouldn't be. So basically what that's telling us, and I realize that it's kind of hard to do it with one hand here. Let me put it down here and let me show you this way. I realize that the mount is not moving, but you can see, that the mount is not tight, locked down, but you can see all that play right there, and that shouldn't be there. Let me try to give you another view of that. Right here, you can see all that play right in there. Well, that shouldn't be there. So I'm going to have to replace all that. Being that I thought that these bolts might break, and I loosened them all up, and yeah, they came off pretty easy. I haven't pulled it apart yet, but what I did do was go online and start looking at some of the things that I'm going to need to get this rebuilt and get an idea on the prices. Well, here's my list. Gonna get you in close as possible there. So you're supposed to get a serial number off of these things. Well, I'm looking all over the place and I can't find a serial number for it. So it either fell off or doesn't exist. I'm sure it had it at one point or another. So the bearing that I showed you earlier that was jacked up, well, here's the part number, here's the description, here's the number off of the actual list itself, and here's the price, $1.72. So you can't go bad. The jacket for all the wiring, $6.34. I'm looking at possibly purchasing the cables, the wiring that's going to go to this, right? Because the shaft is the new shaft is longer, and these cables and wiring are short, especially since we cut them. Even though we didn't cut that much off of it, we cut maybe an inch or two. So I'm going to have to redo the wiring. And from what I'm seeing on these cables, they have connectors on both ends. So maybe when I get this off, I can pull this apart, open this up, and run new cables in there, or I can splice them and run them through the tube. So splice them, run them through the tube, and the splice will be in here with heat shrink tubing, and safe as can be. So the cables, this is the extension cable for the transducer, right? So 2114 for this one, it's 175 inches, and this one, it's 110 inches. Obviously, I think the 175 inches is going to be the correct one, but I need to do some measuring. So these are just preliminary things just to get an idea of what I'm getting myself into financially. And really, I'm not seeing any heartache there. The covers, one cover, which is the top, which I'm still not sure on the part number, is like $679. The bottom part is $749. The latch bar, which is this little piece right here, it's replaceable. That latch bar is $2.20. The pivots, so we're looking at the bracket, rear pivot, and bushing for the rear pivot. The bracket is $10.66 and the bushings are $1.14 each. So what is that? You know, that's this piece right here. It's the bracket, and this piece that goes around the outside. That's the bushing. And you know, I'll probably go ahead and buy the screws as well. And you know, I don't have a price on them, but man, for those four, it can't be more than a couple dollars. So you know, that's just to be on the safe side. Then the other thing is this 4-inch seal kit. It's $9.61. So if you're going to open the motor up, and I've opened one up on the Minn Kota Edge 30 that I've got, and you know, that one had a seized up motor and a bad bearing, which is what seized up the motor. I ended up buying a bearing for $2 or $3 from a bearing place online. You know, they're cheap, and the brushes, I cleaned them up. And anyway, when I went to put it back together, I realized, you know, it's probably been a good idea if I had a seal kit. And yeah, for $10, that's not bad. So you know, what do we have here? 2, 8, 30. It's one or the other, not both. 38, 40. This is going to be 2 of them, so 50, 60, you know, 70, $100 max. And we've got a rebuilt unit here that I'm going to feel real good about. So yeah, there's another $100, $150, because I paid $50 for the shaft, you know, for this unit. So you know, just because you find it on Craigslist or online or something for an extraordinary good price doesn't mean that you got you a heck of a deal. You know, if you're not up to working on these things, or don't have a clue, or would rather just not do it, then you know, make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, and you get you a tried and tested one. So says the rooster. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and close this off now. I think we're going to go ahead and finish this this video section and call it all part 1, all these pieces together. And that's, you know, disassembly and a plan, right? Because you got to have a plan on where you're going when you start this stuff. And on the next part 2, we'll come back and hopefully have some parts, and I'll show you how to change out these brackets and bushings and the bar in here, the release bar, and then you know, show you how to put the new bearing in, how to replace this shaft, you know, the whole thing to get us back to having a unit going. One cool thing that I forgot to mention is my mounting bracket, quick release mounting bracket, arrived today. That was like another $80 or so. Man, I'm excited about being able to get this thing back, not back, but mounted. But you know, that's going to be a while, because we still got to repair it, verify it works, and then kind of go from there. So, all right, thanks for hanging with me. One last look at this thing. There you go. There's our release bar. Here's the transducer cable, 2 power cables. This one, again, I'm not sure what it goes to. I'm assuming it goes to the transducer, or you know, some exciter for the motor. I'm not sure till I get in there. This is part of the clamp that goes to the bottom bearing, and you know, that bearing on the top side that broke, that lost all its little balls. So it's $1.72. $1.72. Man, heck of a deal. All right. So, all right. We'll talk soon. Thank you.